This is how you impact your bottom line. Negotiating your rate per mile. This is really important. Negotiating your rate per mile. Yeah. That beat was hot, wasn't it? Yeah, that beat is hot, man. We switched it up, and every time I hear it, I just have to bob my head. I know you was. I know you was too. You don't have to tell me, but I already know. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Jarvis Hill Projector. I'm happy to have you. Tonight, we're going to continue the conversation around box trucks. And there's two main points I want to highlight to make sure that you guys are prepared. Two main points. Before we get started, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. All right, well, let's get down to business. Point number one is your carrier packet. Your carrier packet. Now, what is that? That is when you go to book a load with a broker, the first thing they're going to ask you, send over your carrier packet. Now, with your carrier packet, it contains three documents. Number one is your COI, your certificate of insurance. Yeah, we talked about it in a previous episode. You have to have insurance to run or book any load. So have that document in there ready to go. Your insurance company know what it is. All you have to do is call them and say, hey, I need a COI filled out. So have your COI. Next is your authorization form from United States Department of Transportation. It's just a form showing that you're authorized to book loads and do business in the transportation business. Okay? Your authorization form. Next is your W-9 form. It's a blank form that you'll fill out. It's going to have your business name, your business address, and your business EIN number. Those are the three documents for your carrier agreement. So when the broker asks you, hey, send over your carrier agreement, you're going to say, okay. And why? Because you're watching this episode and you know what to send over. Don't do like I did when they first asked me, hey, send over your carrier agreement. Carrier agreement? What's that? Well, that's your insurance and your authority or your authorization form and your W-9. Oh, okay, I know what that was. I was just checking to see if you knew. Seriously, make sure you have your carrier agreement, okay? Don't get caught off guard like I did. Next, which is my favorite part of the business. This is how you impact your bottom line. Negotiating your rate per mile. This is really important. Negotiating your rate per mile. Now, I know a lot of people, when they get into the game, they get on with Amazon. Now, Amazon Relay, you can check their rates. Amazon rates are like $1.60, $1.70, $1.80 a mile. And that's one way. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. Now, when it comes to brokers, you have more negotiating power to get the rate that you want per mile. Now, when I first started, I was taking, $1.80, $1.70 a mile, thinking that was good. But I had to learn. And what I did was, and here's what, get your pen and paper out, and you take notes on this one. Here's what I did. I took my fixed expenses and what those were. And for this example, let's say my fixed expenses for the month is $5,000. Okay? And what are your fixed expenses? Go back and watch the previous episode, and you'll know what your fixed expenses are. Let's say my fixed expenses are $5,000. We run Monday through Friday, 5 days out of the week. So 20 days for the month. So I divide 5,000 by 20. That's going to give me $250. So I know I need to make $250 a day when my truck is running. I at least need to cover my overhead, my expenses. Okay? So we start off with that number in mind. So let's say we call to book a load, and we say, hey, we want, a load going from Dallas to Austin. Let's say it's 250 miles. Well, if we go 250 miles at $2.50, that's $500. That's one way. Now, we talked about having a good dispatcher that can book you round trip loads. So you get a load going one way, 250 miles, it's 500. Coming back, 250 miles for $2.50, that's another 500. Bring your total to for that day $1,000. Now you're well above your fixed expenses, right? So we would do that 5 days out of the week. Now we're up to 5,000 just on the revenue side, and you're covering your fixed expenses for that day, for the for the particular day of the example we gave, $250. That's what you need to cover for your fixed expenses. Okay, so really important. I want to make sure you guys understand that negotiating your rate per mile. When it comes to Amazon, you don't really have that much flexibility. When it comes to dealing with brokers, you have that flexibility. And here's the cool thing about being in this game. Once you develop great relationships with your brokers and you set the standard and not moving off your number. Now I know when I started, I was taking, dollar, like I said, $1.80, $1.70 mile, not really knowing and not really making the money I wanted to. But if you're a new carrier, don't be afraid to stand on your number and stand firm, knowing what you need to make. These brokers need your equipment. They need their stuff, their freight moved from point A to point B. And once you build these relationships with these brokers, I have brokers now calling me, but I don't even have to negotiate my rate because I've set the standard. They know what I'm looking for. They know what I'm asking for. And so they call or text me and say, hey, we have a load going from here, from point A to point B, and it's paying $3 a mile. Now, why do they do that? Because we've done loads for them before, and we've done a really good job for them. And so they want to use the same carrier over and over because they know they can trust you. They know you do a great job. They will continue to call you before you have to call them. That's the name of the game. Build these relationships with these brokers. Don't just treat them like another number. Call them back. Check on them. So, again, negotiating your rate per mile. Know what your fixed monthly expense number is. Start there. Break that down for how many days you're going to be running for the month. And then negotiate your rate per mile off that number. I wouldn't take less than $2 a mile. We do $2.50 a mile and on up. That's how we move. If you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. My team and I will definitely reach back out. Want to make sure you guys in a position to be successful and not make the same mistakes I did and not lose the amount of money that I did when I first got into it. Want to make sure you guys are off to a great start. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Hey, before you get out of here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.